Hello, thank you for tuning in. My name is Larry Duncan Allen, and this is No More Water. Bye. Next time. I have an interesting start-off subject today. You know, my title usually is the start-off subject. It's not usually what I always stick to. But it's about feminism and the Democrats. Hold on a second. Okay. I know a lot of women may not agree with this, but I really believe that feminism has taken a hold in the Democratic Party and is really doing the same thing to the Democratic Party that it did to the Civil Rights Movement. Gotta move this thing around. Hold on a second. I'm not CNN, with the multi-million-dollar studio. I have to run everything myself, the big staff. You know how us podcasters are. We have to run everything ourselves. But look, I believe that feminism is doing the same thing to the Democratic Party that it did to the Civil Rights Movement, to black people's black people's progress. Everything feminism touches destroys. Men build things, feminism tear it down. You move aside, let the women start running things. I can tell you why feminism is destroying the Democratic Party. If you notice in the Democratic Party, well, let's start with the Republicans. When you talk to a Republican and they tell you why they vote Republican, it's plain and simple. It's because of this, or it's because of that. But the Democrats give his people a laundry list of things, trying to be everything for everybody. Fine, you may do things for those people, but when you're running a campaign, you have to keep it plain and simple. Not make it where everybody in the world getting their issue addressed. You can say, in every speech a Democrat give when they're campaigning, they got to go down a long list of people. Well, the Republicans keep it plain and simple. And the Democrats are getting their butts kicked by the Republicans. With gerrymandering, the Republican Party is actually much smaller than the Democratic Party. But what the problem is, they're maneuvering the Democratic Party. They're patient. They have a plan. The Democratic Party just jump off of what's going on at the moment. See, reason I say about feminism, just listen to the Democratic Party. Look at the issues that they discuss. It's mostly feminist issues. If you notice, they just discount men. That's why a lot of men are just not voting or going Republican. And then they criticize them for it. They address everyone's issues but his. I know black men have some issues also that need to be addressed. Do you hear anyone addressing them? All they talk about is black women. Never mention black men. Then they wonder why many of them was turned off. The only men that feminists are interested in is homosexual men. They feel like something's wrong with straight men. I know it's this podcast of these two women. They're spot on about most things. But anytime they mention something that a man is doing that they don't like, he's a titty baby. He got a small penis. He's got something to do with his balls, small balls, and all that stuff. And if it was a man saying about a woman, oh, she must be on her period. Or she must need some. She need her man. He get kicked off there, and you know it. But see, the problem is, we go along with this stuff with women. They can say whatever they want to about men. But a man will get kicked off there for that. Feminism destroys everything it touches. It destroyed the black family, destroyed black relationships. White women was the architect of feminism. But when they left those feminist rallies and finished chucking out their feminist BS, they went home and became a wife and a mother. The black woman, what did she do? Go home fussing and arguing with her man about that feminist stuff. Something he has nothing to do with. He didn't pay you less for the same work. The black man wasn't keeping you off jobs. I know because I was on jobs where I worked with white men, and when a woman came in there, it didn't matter if she was black or white. The white man was angry because the woman was there. The black man was glad to see a woman there. White men don't like to see a woman do the same job he's doing. Black men don't care because with black men and black women been doing the same jobs since we've been in this country. The white man would say, oh, she can't be a real woman, or she wouldn't be working a man's job. I didn't even know it was a man's job. I thought it was just a job. And the black man was happy a woman, and not trying to hit on and all that. He was just glad to see a woman get on the job also. But yet he catch the brunt of the feminist movement. And feminism has destroyed black people. Black men and black women are like two different entities now. We used to say black people. Well, black men still do. But when a black woman says, what she say? Black women. Then she might mention, and black men. It used to be black people. Black women and black men vote used to be counted together. The black vote. Now they're separating it. And the black men are still voting in high numbers for the Democrats. But you listen to it, they made it seem like as though the black men just jumped ship. The black women, 92%. The last tally for black men was 87%. And at a national election, they had it as low as 82%, but 82% would still be high. That's 8 out of 10. 9 out of every 10 black women voted for Kamala. And then let's say it was 82%. That'd be 8 out of 10 black men. But it wasn't 82. The last tally I saw was 87. It's been so many. But that's not much different in a national election, 5 points. Not even 10 points, because if you look at the fact that there's many more black females than men, more black women in numbers voted for Trump than men, but more black men percentage-wise voted for Trump. And a lot of men were just turned off. Not just black men, but men, period. If you could tell when feminism is involved in something, because all you hear is women's issue all the time. What used to be a people issue is now a woman's issue. And anytime a man does something that they disagree with, they talk about his manhood. Oh, he's just a little whiny baby. All that. Like a man can't complain about anything. If he do, he's a little whiny baby. He don't supposed to have feelings. Oh, he all in his feelings. So what? He can't have feelings? Then when he don't have feelings, why these men won't show their feelings? So, and like I said, that this one telecast, those women, they're usually spot on about everything. But every time a man does something they don't like I say, he's a titty baby, he's got a small penis, small ball. What they got to do with the issues? If I got on here, as I said a minute ago, and said every time a woman did something I don't like politically, I'm talking about politically right now, because that's what it was. It was about politics. She must be on her period, or she must need some. You know, I'd get kicked off. Well, probably not off here, because you can see a lot of stuff on here. But I would have complaints lodged against me. But they can say whatever they want to about us. You see, the Democrats, they're getting their butts kicked. And if they want to stay in the money, you see the Texas Democrats that went to, left the state to stop the gerrymandering. they're going back, giving up already, except for a couple. They don't have the balls, as the woman would say. The Democrats don't. I mean, the Republicans are just outmaneuvering the Democrats because, see, they got men running the Republican Party. They have strategy. Women have emotion when they run things. Kamala Harris' campaign ran off emotion, not strategy. Trying to address everyone's issues. When you ask a Republican, why are you voting Republican, or why are you voting for Trump? Or because of guns, or the economy. They'll come to you with one issue. I don't think that's good, but for the Republican Party, it's good. The Democrats, why are you voting Democratic? Oh, this person, that person, for this, for that, whole laundry list of things. You lose people like that. You may help all those people, but you don't have to go through a whole list every time you speak, every time you have a campaign rally or something. You don't have to go through the whole list. Trump got up there lying and just saying any type of crazy thing, was even up there dancing and singing through the whole rally and still won. So it shows that it's not, you don't have to just try to address everything like the Democrats do. If the Democrats want to get the White House back, they're going to have to run, in 2028, they're going to have run them a straight white man. Forget all this woman stuff, black man. They're going to have to run a straight white man. You might be able to get those people some other time, but you want the White House back and stop this foolishness that's going on. You have to, this is strategy. I'm talking about, not no feelings. Oh, why come a black woman came? Why come a black man shouldn't run? Look, we don't have time for that emotional, touchy-feely stuff. You want the White House back, do what it takes to get it. Strategize like the Republicans do. In 2028, we don't need no Obama. We don't need no Kamala running. I know Obama can't run. I'm just saying about black man and black woman. We don't need no Hillary running. We need a straight white man to run to get the White House back, and we can worry about the rest later. I'm going to tell you right now, just like in California, they're talking about the gerrymandering, like if Texas gerrymander, they're going to gerrymander. Why you got to wait on Texas? You're always playing catch up. Do it. You should have been doing it. That's what I mean. The Republicans has been out-strategizing the Democrats because the Democrats is letting these women run stuff and they're just dismantling it. Off of this touchy-feely emotional stuff. They're not strategizing. They didn't strategize with Kamala. She did not run. She ran an emotional campaign. They had told us, they said it would be a lot of black men at Kamala's rally. But when they say when but no, they didn't say. I noticed every one of her rallies I saw in the backdrop, I saw everyone, white men, Hispanic men, black women, white women, Asian, all type of people. I never saw a black man behind her at any one of her rallies. I didn't see all of her rallies, but of the ones I saw, I did not see a black man. One time I saw one. Let me take that back. He wasn't behind her. It was when she was going way. They had to pan the camera while she was going out the stadium. And there was a black man way back there by the door. One black man. Now, if they say you're having trouble with the black male demographics, don't you think you should have a black man back there? Somebody should have told her. The Republicans would have told Trump that. You see, even Trump had him some paid stepping fetches back there. He had enough sense to do that. That mention black men sometimes. Did Kamala ever mention black men? Because see, the thing about it, if you're going to mention black women, you got to mention black men too. But see, a black man, he would just say black people. Every time I talk to black women, we could be talking about black issues. I'm talking about black people. I say black people. When she start talking, see black women, and she make a mistake, and then she may make a mistake and realize what she said. Oh, and black men. Why gotta be black women and black men? Why come it can't be black people like it used to be? Because if the women want to separate from us, go ahead. We'll make it. You won't. Now, you can get in your emotions and say, I don't know what I'm talking about and all that, but I know what I'm talking about. You may jump in your feelings and say, I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm stupid. He crazy. Yeah, you can say all of that, but try it and see what happens. Black women would become extinct without black men, even if you got with white men. You know why? They don't like y'all like that. They take you to the motel. Not in numbers, they don't like you like that. You better stick with what you got, and at least, if you want to give it one of them, fine. You know, if people really want you, I see nothing wrong with that. But every white friend I have, he said when he talked to black women, every time they tell them about how much she hate black men. Every black man I know, he will not let, even if he got a woman of another race, he will not let her talk against black women. When I had my Chinese girlfriend, she could not talk against black women. I wouldn't have allowed anything like that. But the black woman would go to the white man and talk about us, talk against us. How many black women you saw having babies by Klansmen and segregationists and Ku Klux and white supremacists? So the reason I say feminism kills everything it touches. It killed Stacey Abrams in Georgia. I told them this the first time and the second time she ran. We was on a panel and everybody was angry with me. You just don't like black women. They get all in their feelings, won't talk facts. Get all in their feelings. Because you don't like something don't mean it's not right. Because you don't like something don't mean it's not factual. Get out of your feelings and start using your mind. Go off of statistics, facts. That's what I go off of. Not off of what I think and how I feel. I told them with Stacey, I said, she's not going to win. Oh, they going trying to get the vote up and get a good job. But you know what? You know what happened? I told them, say, look, first of all, the women, they did the same thing with Kamala. They're making this seem like a sister girl issue. Like she's running to be over the deltas or something. It's not no black sorority. You make it a black female thing. That turns other people off. Black men would still vote for her. If I was in Georgia, I would have voted for her because I think Stacey Abrams would have made an excellent governor. Because you know why? Most black people, and I say black people, who become governors and mayors do make good governors and mayors. Because you know why? We have to. We don't have the privilege like the white folks do, or the white men. We don't have that privilege. We got to be at the top of our game. But Stacey Abrams, I also told him, say, look, you all need to cut that black female stuff out. You don't do that in a campaign. You don't bring up your gender and race in a campaign, especially a statewide or national campaign, because you got more than black people voting. So what happened was, and I also told them, the other reason she's not going to win, and a lot of y'all not going to like this, black men is going to vote for her. White men are not. And white women may not, because she's an obese black woman. The optics alone would stop a lot of white people from voting for her. White men are not going to vote for an overweight black woman. But see, the way they was running their campaign was like they were just appealing to black people. black men would have voted for, because, let's face it, black men are used to overweight black women. But the other people won't. White men don't like overweight women. And it goes off into the campaign. They got angry, got in their feelings. What's wrong with her weight? For you to ask me what's wrong with it, that shows you something's wrong. You know. I don't need to tell you. They're not going to vote for her. The second time, same thing. I told them again, same results. They'll vote for an overweight man, but they're not going to vote for an overweight woman. I'm not talking my feelings, okay? Because I know a lot of times when I state facts, people get angry with me because they think that's how I feel. Like I said, I would have voted for her. But that's just the way people are. They'll vote for an overweight man. Look at the governor of Illinois. Maynard Jackson, the first mayor of Atlanta. He was overweight. Harold Washington in Chicago. He was overweight. But they won't do that with the woman. That's just the way this society is. And you, instead of trying to say, I'm going to run anyway, I don't care what, you got to care what these people say. Because you're running a campaign. And you got to know all type of strategies. And you have to strategize and say, no, these people are not going to vote for an overweight woman. I can understand when she ran the first time she was overweight. The second time, she should have lost some weight. Come on, you got you. If that's you want to be governor, bad enough, she should have lost some weight. Put on a girdle or something. And I'm not trying to be funny. Don't get me wrong. I know a lot of people don't like what I'm saying. I'm not trying to be funny, but that's just the way it is. And you're not going to change facts. The fact is, most people on a national election, like for president, it appears that they're not ready to elect a woman. Black folks are. We're ready. But most of white America and these other people are not. See, even among the Latinos are, they're very big with this macho thing with men. And it's hard for them to vote for a woman. Some black men, when I talk to them, they felt like black men was being ignored. Oh, Biden did it too. Remember when Biden ran, black women voted like 94% for him, and black men like 90%. It was like just 5-6 points difference between black men and women. But what happened was Biden got up and thanked black women. He didn't say black people. He said black women. Put all black women in his cabinet, no black men. But he did put Austin over the defense secretary. I'm talking about his immediate cabinet, like in the White House. But no, he did put some black men. Let me take that back. I want to be accurate about that. He put some black men, but he thanked black women and ignored black men. See, you may say, well, why they want somebody? You can't keep, look, black men are human like everyone else. We got feelings and thoughts like everyone else. You can't keep doing stuff against us and think we're going to stay on your side. And then when we say something about it, you all in your feelings. Why don't you grow up? Black man can't have feelings. If he show his feelings and emotions, he's not a real man. He's a homosexual. All of that. He don't supposed to have any feelings. He's supposed to just take whatever people do and don't say nothing. You're crazy if you think that's going to happen. A lot of them have. A lot of these men have been simps. They laid aside, let these women start running things. Women took over after the civil rights movement with that feminist stuff. They let them do it to keep peace at home. I just won't have no peace, or I won't have no home with no woman if I got to lay down for her. Ain't no woman running me. And you see what happened. The black community had been stagnant. It was moving in the 60s and 70s. It's been stagnant since the 70s when women start running things, taking over things. The birth rate there was 50 million black people in the United States back in the 60s. Here we are later with 43 million. Most of the women having babies by the same few men. 51% of black men don't have children. And they're not homosexuals like y'all. Let me tell you about that homosexual stuff. Black women keep accusing black men of being homosexuals. You know where that came from? That came from white supremacists. They said they're going to make black the new gay. You know why they did that? So that white women would stop getting with black men. But what happened was it backfired. White women didn't pay it any attention. But black women ran away with it. Black women are actually using white supremacist tactics against us and don't realize. This down low stuff you talk about, you know where that came from? This guy named, I forget his first name, it was L. King or something. He was on Oprah's show, because Oprah with that feminist stuff. He wrote a book where he was married and he had a wife and he was going around messing with men. Black women took that and ran away with it. Anything to be against us. And when statistics show that there are many more black female homosexuals than males. See, y'all can walk down the street holding hands, rubbing out on each other's butts and don't nobody pay no attention. I saw a video of two black men doing synchronized skating where they had to lock arms together. What you do in synchronized skating? Even the men insinuating that they're homosexuals. Everything the man do is regulated, but the women can do whatever they want to do. And back to politics. The Democrats are counting on the midterms. What are you going to do until then? You have to strategize. All this on Michelle Obama stuff about when they go high, when they go low, we go high. When they go low, you go lower. Take them down to hell if you got to and throw them in the pit. Come back out, though. But look, all that playing fair, how can you play fair when we don't even have laws anymore? The Republicans are not even playing by rules. They're not playing by laws. But yet you trying to be nice. Do you know what many of the Democrats are saying in Congress and in the Senate about them when Governor Pritzker of Illinois and the Governor of California and Massachusetts and many of the other states are talking about gerrymandering and also to counteract what they're doing in Texas. Many of the Democrats say, no, we shouldn't do that. We want to do things. What the hell wrong with y'all? You in a fight. That's just like a bully coming to you throwing punches and you trying to reason with him. When you start throwing punches, our reason is off. It's time to put them up and be ready to put somebody down by any means necessary. There's no such thing as a fair fight. That's why it's called fighting. Win. That's what you do. You don't fight to lose. You fight to win by any way you have to. But the Democrats are ruining their party, and it starts going bad after you start trying to address everybody's little issue. Yeah, you address their issues through policy, but you have to simplify your message. The Democratic message is too layered. The Republicans come with a straight message because they're asking people, what you voting? I'm voting for the economy. I'm voting for it because of guns. I'm voting for it because of deportation. There's something simple. You ask a Democrat why they're voting, what are they voting for? It's a laundry list of things. But everyone's not going to go by that laundry list. Maybe that's why a lot of people didn't vote. They said 89 million people didn't vote. That's more than what I think what Trump won by. Matter of fact, Kamala Harris got more votes than Biden or Obama got. yet still lost. Because see, the country grows. The voter pool grows. That's why you see each president gets more votes than the winner gets more votes than the previous winner. The Democrats, for the first time in a long time, the Republicans won the popular vote. The Democrats usually win the popular vote. Hillary Clinton won by over 3 million votes, but still lost. Now that's not democracy. If that happened down in Central America, the United States wouldn't recognize that government. Someone win by the equivalent of 3 million votes, but yet lose the election. They probably send in the military, try to get them out of office. But it's acceptable here. This electoral college is a terrible thing. They say every vote counts. Not according to the electoral college. Even though, Biden got millions of more votes than Trump, but actually he only won by like 45,000, a few extra votes in certain areas, and he wouldn't have won, even though he won by millions of votes. That's why I say strategy. The Republicans is out strategizing the Democrats. The last time the Democrats used strategy was with Obama, because he didn't put up with that foolishness, talking about he's a black male. He had a good ground game. The Democrats haven't had a good ground game. There used to be a time when men was over the Democratic Party running it. They did things on the precinct level. They had those precinct committeemen out there getting votes and picking up people, taking them to the polls. Now the women are running, trying to do everything off of social media and hollering that black girl magic stuff. That's not going to work in an election. What more than black people's involved? You can do that if she's running for mayor of a all black city. Black people will put up with that foolishness. But these other folks not putting up with that. You get to hollering some black girl magic at them and see what happens. They're not going for that. And some black men have stopped going for it. You're going to discount us, we're going to leave you alone too. But it's nothing they could have said that would have made me vote for Trump. If Kamala trashed black men in her speech, I still would have voted for her before I voted for Trump. She could have said all black men are dogs. I would have still voted for her than vote for Trump, because I knew, I'm just saying, if that had happened, I know she wouldn't do it, because I think she was an excellent candidate. Matter of fact, Kamala Harris, in her run for president, had a better resume than Obama had when he first ran. When Obama first ran, he was a state senator in Illinois. And then he ran and became a U.S. senator. And he hadn't even finished his first term. I think he was about a year and a half in his first term. He ran for president. They had to fill in his Senate seat. But Kamala, she was his second term, he was more qualified, because nothing qualifies you more to be president than to have been president. But in Kamala's first run for president, she was a prosecutor out in California. She was a U.S. Senate for a few terms. And she was vice president. So that was even a better resume than Obama in his first term. Like I say, his first term, because nothing qualifies you more than to have been president in his second term. Many people say that Kamala Harris put a record number of black men in prison in California. But one thing they didn't say is that she put a record number of innocent black men in prison. If a record number of black men were committing crimes, then they went where they're supposed to go. But at the same time, they didn't mention that she helped to get more black men out of prison. She had a program to help get black men out of prison. They didn't mention that, but they didn't bring that up. That's why I said I think she was an excellent candidate. I think Hillary was an excellent candidate. Biden was an excellent candidate. Obama. All of them were. Because the Democrats usually run superior candidates. I'm not saying perfect candidates, but candidates that would be more to help the nation and the people. Because if you notice, every time a Democrat get in office, they leave the Republican with a strong economy. The Republican destroys it. The Democrat has to come after them and repair the economy. So how are Republicans good with the economy? Clinton was one of the few presidents that had a balanced budget, no deficit. Excuse me. George Bush came in behind him, wrecked the economy. Obama had to come in, spend most of his first term repairing the economy. What happened? Trump came in behind Obama, wrecked the economy. What did Biden do? Come in behind him even after COVID. Built an economy which they said was the envy of the world. Built a very strong economy. What is Trump doing right now? Ruining the economy. See, that's what they do. The Republicans come in and ruin the economy that the Democrats built up. But the Democrats don't talk about that. They're trying to be too nice. They don't talk about that. Many black people have mentioned about Obama. They told me, what did Obama do for black people? He did a lot. Student loans, health care, those Pell Grants. Black unemployment rose to the lowest point in history. First under Obama. He started that trend. Then when it comes to you talking about what he do for you personally, he don't supposed to do anything for you personally. It's for you to handle your personal life, not the president. Get up off your lazy self and take care of your own business. We look for government to take care of our personal stuff. I'm going to talk about, let me stop for a minute. I'm going to talk about, to show you a point. I record different events. I was doing a city event where they was doing a cleanup. And there was these people, while they was doing the cleanup, they was sitting on their porch drinking beer with all that trash in front of their house. Yeah, you are doing a good job. Keep up the good work. I wouldn't have picked up a damn thing for them. They sitting on the porch drinking and threw all that trash out there and you going to go pick it up for them? That's for them to do. That's why I say I'm not filming another cleanup. That was a freebie. If they pay me, I'll do it. But for the money, it won't be another freebie. Because you have to take care of your own personal business. Stop looking to my, the president didn't do nothing for me. He's supposed to come down personally, do something for you. You didn't say George Bush. What did George Bush do for black people? You didn't say what Ronald Reagan or George Bush daddy or what did Trump do for black people? You only said that about the black man. You said the Democrats and Republicans, there's no difference in them. Now you're seeing the difference. Do you know that they've eliminated just about everything about black people? History, economically. It's just that things didn't happen the way they thought it would. They tried to ruin us economically. but it didn't. It backfired on them. The Democrats never did anything like that, not in modern history. So there is a difference. They were after us all the time. And you black people in Washington, D.C., don't be trying to confront the National Guards or the national troops they have there, going about your business like they're not even there. They're trying to pull you out. They're trying to rile us. Black people are being cool. We're taking it easy. We're not being bothered by nothing. Keep that up. Walk on about your business. Do what they tell you to do. They're looking for reasons. They're looking for reasons to come after black people. I saw a video where some black people out there yelling, get out of our town, get out of our town. No, just don't pay them any attention. Go on about your business. Like they're not even there. They're trying to rile you. They're looking for a reason. Don't give them one. And those who that go out there, let them. But the rest of you, don't be joining that stuff. Back to politics. See, back when men was running politics, let's take the civil rights movement. Remember how back in the 60s, when the men was running the civil rights movement, black people made a lot of gains in the 60s and 70s. But the white people, they strategize. They don't go off emotion or spur of the moment like we do. They have think tanks. Do we have those? Our intellectuals are busy trying to just make money and don't sit down and strategize like the white ones do. One thing they did, they brought feminism into the black community. The black women complained about everything, wanted to run things, and it happened. The men, the little wimpy men, the men wimped out and let them do it. And we haven't made any gains since. The birth rate dropped. And with abortion, I told people about this back in, I think it was 2021 when we had this panel. And everybody got angry with me because they thought I was out of emotion instead of facts. And I told the black women that you all are going to ruin abortion. You know, they start fussing and hollering like they normally do instead of listening and try to find out why I said what I said. Like I said, because they don't like it. That means it's not right, because they don't like it. You're using abortion. The majority of black women were using abortion for birth control. That's not what it was meant for. It wasn't meant for birth control. But they said most black women was getting the most late-term abortions. There were different reasons why. It wasn't all because they got mad at Pookie and didn't want his baby no more. That was part of it. But the other part was that many black women, because of discrimination in the healthcare system, had babies that, maybe had a deformity, or they discovered they were pregnant later than other women did. So it wasn't all because of Pookie not wanting his baby. Our women do get a bad rap about a lot of things, just as black people do. Black women aborted over 28 million babies in that period. And you wonder why we didn't grow? All of those wasn't no late-term abortions, medical problems, wasn't rape or incest. Because as a matter of fact, rape made up 1% of abortions. Incest or molestation, 0.5%, almost non-existent. So there had to be other reasons why. Stop ruining everything you touch. Black people, especially black men, wasn't against Roe versus Wade. Every time I passed an abortion clinic, you know who I always saw out there picketing? White women. So they talked that crap, but they were more against abortion than anyone. And I'm not talking about anybody morals. Right now, some people on there saying, well, I'm against abortion, thinking of religion. I'm not speaking on that right now. I'm talking about the reasons behind things. I'm not going by your personal feelings. I'm going by facts right now. Many people told me, said, well, abortion was just meant to just kill black babies. It was there was some groups that said that, but that don't mean it was a governmental policy. Because as a matter of fact, black women wasn't included in abortion. When it first started. There was a black feminist by the name of Dorothy Height. And Maxine Waters was in her first term in Congress at the time. They actually took it all the way to the Supreme Court for black women to get the right to have abortions. You don't have to take my word. You can look it up. I wouldn't say stuff like this if I couldn't back it up. So how was it a governmental policy when they didn't want you to have it anyway? But there was some white supremacist group who was happy. I would like to see Roe versus Wade brought back. I don't like all the black babies being killed, but what we have right now and what these women are going through, I mean, fetuses dying in their body, babies that, one woman had a baby that was growing, so how they call it, like outside the womb or something like that. Most doctors was afraid to do it. She had to go way, about 1,000 miles away to get something done about it. I'd rather see Roe versus Wade than to see all of that. Yeah, I'd rather see Roe versus Wade. And when we had a discussion before, I mentioned to the women, to get it reinstated, you have to get your wording correct. No one's trying to tell women what to do with their bodies. No one's telling you what to do with your body. You do everything else with your body, they don't tell you what to do. If you didn't have that fetus in your body, would they be worried about your body? They're telling you what to do with that fetus, not your body. You may not agree with that, but that's what they're. So you have to go by what the people who run it, who you're going to be trying to get things done through, think, not your personal thoughts. I know, well, they should be able to do whatever they want to do with that fetus. That's your thoughts, not theirs. How about what they should do? That's feelings again, not facts and strategy. And most of the time I talk to people, that's the first thing they say, well, they should, it ought to be, but it's not. What you think and what I think don't mean nothing. It's what the people who run it think. You have to strategize according to the way they're going to deal with things. I can't go to court and tell the judge what I think, and then he going to rule on what I think. I have to know what the law is. Present it to the judge that way. Not my own personal thoughts. And that's why that problem I have with most black people. We want to go off our feelings, what we think. Well, I think it should be this, it ought to be. Don't nobody give a damn about what you think and what ought to be. It don't mean nothing to the people who run it. They want to go by facts. You got to have your facts. One thing I like about Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, she have her facts together. She have her facts together. I was able to do a recording with her just back in October, I think, when she came to town. But she have her facts together. Hakeem Jeffries, they say he's a very good he's a very good head of the Congress. He will be Speaker of the House if the Democrats take the majority. But he's too soft in his presentation. Cory Booker, they're too soft in their presentation. See, being strong behind the scenes mean nothing when you're in a fight like this. When those people are strong and coming out tough behind the scenes and in public, you have to be tough in public also. When they was leaving, when they made a vote and was leaving out, and Cory Booker, oh, I know you're a decent man. Why you doing this? What the hell you talking to him like that? You tell him, F him. You ain't said you know what. That's the way you got to talk to him. He's not a decent man for that bill that they passed. Hakeem Jeffries was talking to some guy, he told me, well, he's my friend, I love him. No, you're not my friend. The stuff those Republicans doing, you part of that? No, you're not my friend. If he is your friend, you don't get on there talking like that. Get tough. And that's what people and see, you know what? With men, at least the Republican Party is showing toughness. And I think that's what appealed to a lot of men. I heard one Hispanic guy say, well, Trump acts like a man. He acts like an idiot to me, not a man. But I know what he was getting at. And this same Hispanic man, his father got deported after he voted for Trump. And you know what they asked him? Would you still vote for Trump? He said yes. So that's why I don't feel sorry for them. They voted for Trump, and they mistreated us all the time that they were here. I know that's a different subject. I'm gonna talk on that. Those Latinos, let's say they have on a truck, haul things. Black man got one. Let's say that load paid $3,000. They would go tell the people they'll do it for $2,000. Undercut, everybody got a standard and they all go by it. They'll sneak and do it for much less so they can take over the market and get all the business. They go on jobs telling them, I saw this, Nigerian. The Latinos would come to them and say, we're immigrants and you're immigrant, and try to get them to fire the black men, go back snitching on them, saying stuff about them. But the Nigerian didn't go for it. And they expect somebody to have pity for them. You can if you want to, I don't. Right now, I'm not worried about no Haitians, no Jamaicans, no Cubans, no nobody, no Africans. The only people I'm concerned about now is the FBAs, Foundational Black Americans. That's what the people call us now. Because we was at the foundation of the nation. Because you know what the Africans and the, excuse me, and the people from the Caribbean said? They thought that when they said they were going to get rid of the immigrants who was thugs and gangsters, that we were the immigrants that they was talking about. How could we be immigrants? You have to immigrate to a country, right? When we came, our ancestors came here, this wasn't even a nation. We helped in the foundation of the nation. We built the White House. We built the infrastructure in Washington, D.C. and across the South because the white man was too lazy to do it. It's like they're talking about people picking the fruit now. I know I'm a big off subject now, but I'll get back to it. They're talking about people picking the fruit and all that off these farms. Why they keep bringing up black people? Why don't white people get out there and do it? They're not bringing up white people. Like we next on the nigger pole or something. Like the low people. Why don't they get out there? They never, you know why? White people have never done hard work. That's why they brought slaves over here to work the agriculture. And they had slaves building all the buildings and laying the infrastructure. The only time the white man started working is when he invented machines to do most of the work, because before then, black people were the machines. When they were building the railroad, they brought the Chinese over, had them to build it. So when did the white man do some hard work? When call other people lazy? They've been the lazy ones. They're calling other people what they are. How many times, I know when I was a kid coming up, you see people like they working on the streets or something. Let me turn this humming down. The white man would be riding a tractor or heavy equipment or something, while the black man doing the manual labor, men doing the manual labor. He's always been lazy. But they turn around and put it on you. No, you're not. Matter of fact, black women have worked harder than white men. They can't even outwork our women. Black women were out there in the fields right there with the men. They pick cotton right there with the men. There's probably some black women helping to build those structures they talking about if they didn't have enough men. They may not have done a lot of heavy lifting, but I'm sure they played a part in the support role, which white women wouldn't have done, or black or white men. So we're not no lazy people. We're just not getting out there picking that stuff you got out there right now because of the way you did the black farmers, who are doing fine. The black farmer paid cash for their stuff. They didn't go get loans for equipment and all that. They had to pay for it because you wouldn't give them loans. Now the white men, they can't pay back, those farmers can't pay back those loans and losing everything. A lot of them became millionaires because you gave them those subsidies that the black farmers couldn't get. So you going through what they had to go through in the beginning, but you can't handle it. They did. Where's your hard work at? Where's your ingenuity? The black farmers had it and made it out fine. The Latinos telling us we're next. Next for what? You the next. They've been on us for 500 years, on you for 5 or 6 months, and you can't take it. Everything they're doing to you, they already did to us at some point in history. Take it. Learn how to overcome it. You laughed at us when we were singing We Shall Overcome, when we were out in the streets. It was a joke. We must not work. We're going to start looting, all of that. I saw y'all burning up police cars and looting. But our protesters never looted. It was other people. They didn't leave the protest line and go looting. Matter of fact, the protesters in Ferguson went and stopped the looting because they said it was hurting their cars. I was there. Recording, of course, because I don't believe in peaceful protests. You hurt me, I hurt you back. Then maybe we can negotiate. But they made fun of us and everything we did. But it's not so funny now, is it? It's not so funny now that you in the meat grinder. When we were in the meat grinder, you laughed at us. They even beating white women, white people now. They're not discriminating. But you know what? Let us go out there. They're going to discriminate then. I saw it in Philadelphia. There was 8 black people out there protesting. Mostly white people. They made some arrests. Who do you think the first ones they arrested? Guess. You got it right. They should have stayed out of that. They want us out there. That's why I say in Washington, D.C., you people just be cool. Go to work, go to the store, wherever you got to go. Don't pay those guardsmen and all them any attention. Because they're doing it in every city where there's a black mayor. They're talking about taking it to Chicago. Oh, boy, I hope it don't be Saturday because I have to be there Saturday. In St. Louis, they got a white woman now. And crime in Washington, D.C. is actually lowered, not increased. Baltimore, I'm not sure if they have a black mayor or not, but I think Maryland has a black governor. So they may come after their state. But back to the Democrats. If the Democrats want to become relevant again, you got to put the men back in charge. Stop all this feminist, I wouldn't say back in charge, but these feminist policies you got. It appeals mostly to feminism. When you take on feminist policy, you're all over the place. If you notice, because feminism don't have policies for men. The only men they will have policies for is homosexual men. Excuse me. But if you notice in the Democratic policy, what do they have for men, especially black men? Everyone's mentioned. Then I heard one black woman, she mentioned just like these other people first. When they had those rallies, those no kings rallies and all of that, no oligarchy and the immigrants rally, you know what they do? They'll mention people of color, women, homosexuals, immigrants. But they never mentioned black people, at none of them. And think we're going to get out there and help them? When the black woman got up and talked, she mentioned black women, people of color, homosexuals, and immigrants. She didn't mention black men. When all she had to do was say was black people, that would have covered us all. But see, black women don't realize that they use white supremacist ideology against black men. You notice when you think of black men, your mind goes to the worst black men you could think of. Just like white people's minds go to the worst black people they can think of. I told you that the homosexual stuff started with white supremacists. So they're going to stop black men from getting with white women. But it made the white women didn't do a thing. They coming even more. I just don't know how white women hit on black men. Now Asian women have started doing it. But black women took it and ran away with it. All over social media, all day long, what do you see? Black women posting derogatory stuff about men. And when black women don't talk against white men, you never hear them say anything against white men. They put up a picture of him about how cute and fine he is. Then find some AI picture of a black man in a dress and throw that up there. While the black man putting up stuff, talking about queens, the darker the berry, the sweeter the juice, African women killing it. while he's being defamed all over Facebook, you boasting on her. Because you know why? A lot of black men is falling into that feminism stuff. Just listen to them. But most of them, 80% of them are raised by a single mother. I can't say all of them don't have a father there, but the father is that they weren't married or anything. But what happened is he's got woman ideology in his mind. That's why you see he's emotional, ready to fight all the time over any little issue. Instead of coming to you, talking to you like a man, he come ready to curse you out and ready to fight. That's what his mama do. Don't want to come and find out what's going on. Come yelling and screaming and fussing. That's what his mama do. Look at the average little boy in the store with his mother. She's talking to him any kind of way. And he's not doing nothing wrong. Look at him with his father. His father calm, talking to him normal. That's why I say black men make the best fathers. Now, I know you're saying, no, they don't. I'm not talking about your Pook and Ray Ray, who got 15 other children by 10 other women. I'm not talking about him. See, I don't talk about those kind of men, because I know that's the first kind your mind go to. I talk about upper level people. I'm talking about the fathers who are with their children. That's who I'm talking about. Man, Pook and Ray Ray can't be with your child when he got babies strewn all across town, maybe all across the country. Which baby mama he going and which baby he gonna be with? When 80% of the children is made by between 16 and 18% of the men. Look it up. How you gonna have a family? All men cheat. When all you're screwing the same few men, yeah, all of them cheat. You knew he cheated when you, in the first place. That's how you got him, by helping him cheat. So a lot of your problems you're bringing on yourself and you're blaming men. Feminism is killing our people. It's killing our people. It's good you women want to go to college. Because see, people always, well, one thing about black people, we do everything backwards. White people, education was centered around the males, but black people was centered around the women. Black people would send their daughters to college, and many still do. They send their daughters to college, make their sons get a job. I can sort of understand why, I tell you. You see, the type of jobs that a woman would normally do don't pay a lot of money. But men can go get a job at a factory, warehouse, fireman, policeman, all type of places, and that pays good money. Whereas a woman has to have a degree to get a job that pays any amount of money, a living wage. So that's why men, black men still out-earn black women. All men out-earn their women all around the earth. But because a lot of those degrees, see, all those women are not going to college to become doctors and lawyers. Many of them are getting humanities degrees, psychology, sociology, communications, business administration. You're not going to make a lot of money with those, and your degree don't even pay what that man making at the factory is making. So that's why men still out earn women. Then a lot of men go to trade school, do plumbing and electrician, and man can build a business, open his own business with that, because, see, most millionaires come from the blue-collar segment. Most millionaires never even went to college. But it's good that you go if you don't plan on getting married and want to be to yourself, going to college, and then it was a time black people still carry over a lot of things from slavery and in the earlier times because excuse me. See, there was a time when I used to notice my older uncles couldn't read, but all of my aunts, who were even older, could, and all of my aunts could read. They made good livings, though, even though they couldn't read. And my younger uncles could read. The reason for that was the girls were sent to school. The boys had to stay and help work that farm. They were like farm hands. That's why people had a lot of children back then. When they was on those farms, the children was like farm hands. But what happened was, I noticed that when they moved to the city, my younger uncles went to school. And that's why they were able to read. And the older ones didn't. No one ever taught them. They could have, but sometimes when people, a lot of people, they get older. They just want to stick to what they know. I need to take a quick break. And I'll be right back. Watch this commercial. I want you to see this commercial because this commercial is Origin of Greatness. It actually grows your hair back. Matter of fact, it grew mine. I can grow her on the top now, but I still shave it because I like it better bald. It's much easier. Haircuts went up to, sometimes it costs $100 to get a haircut. That's almost like a woman putting a weave on her head. And I just gotten used to it. My brother, I tried to get him to use it, but see, used to being bald, Now I've gotten used to it, but this stuff actually grows your hair back, especially if you just start balding, or women, if your hair thinning. My eyebrows used to grow right here in the middle and stop. I just put it on there and then start bringing it all around. So it works very well. Made my hair hit thicker. Even if you want thicker hair, you could use it. But watch this commercial. I'm going to take this quick break and I'll be right back.
What's good, everybody? My name is Brandon Hunter, also known as OG Brando, and I am the founder formulator for the Origin of Greatness. In front of me, I have my products, the OG Hair Sheen, which is all-around great moisturizer, and then I have my hemp seed butter, which is all-around great moisturizer for the skin as well. If you have any questions about either of my products, please, you can find me at the Origin of Greatness on Instagram, the OG LLC on Facebook, and at our website at theog.net. And also, be on the lookout for the OG in collab and connection with Tierra Speaks. You might just catch us, with some, we got a little collab going on. She got her thing with her self-care box, and so we got some things coming. But greatness is definitely on the way, onward and upward. What's good, everybody? My name is Brandon Hunter, also known as OG Brando, and I am the founder formulator for the Origin of Greatness. In front of me, I have my products, the OG Hair Sheen, which is all-around great moisturizer, and then I have my hemp seed butter, which is all-around great moisturizer for the skin as well. If you have any questions about either of my products, please, you can find me at the Origin of Greatness on Instagram, the OG LLC on Facebook, and at our website at theog.net. And also, be on the lookout for the OG in collab and connection with Tierra Speaks. You might just catch us, with some, we got a little collab going on. She got her thing with her self-care box, and so we got some things coming. But greatness is definitely on the way, onward and upward.
I had to run that twice. I got a notification that my main camera was going out, I would have went black on you. We'd have to switch to another angle. But yeah, I was talking about this thing with feminism. We're gonna have to do something. I know a lot of you women don't like it. You're angry. I'm probably cursing me out right now. Just stop and think sometimes, It's just not working. This is just not working. Let me cut this hum down. Okay. Yeah, it's just not working with these feminist tactics that the Democrats are using. They're getting their butts kicked all around the country on the national level. Except in a few states. You see, in a state like California and what's that? If you look at the map, most states are red states, in which we have the most crime. And they're poor. The blue states fund the red states. If California poor, they're talking about stopping giving their money, helping with their money with the red states, because see, the California is like a nation within itself. California is like the fourth largest economy in the world. If California was a nation, it'd be the fourth prosperous nation in the world. This nation couldn't do without California. But see, the reason I said is because many of the people now are saying they want their own cities, like they want, some of their own, want all white towns. Talking about why black people ain't. Black people not angry, we don't care. We tried to have our own towns, you kept burning it down when you saw us doing well. We tried that after slavery up into the 1930s. But every time we did, you kept burning us out. You had left us alone, we'd be okay. But those towns, but it's just grandstanding. See, black people not paying them any attention. They're doing everything they can to get our attention, because just stop and look at this country. Most white people already live in all white towns, all white cities. Just go to one of those. When they go start get back to the land, cattle and sheep, and living almost like the Amish. Man, you think black people want to come to that? They say those sundown towns, they still have some. You don't have to worry. Those, look, Redneck Junction and all that. Black people don't even want to come to those towns and sun up, let alone sundown. Tell me no sundown town. How many black people you even see in your town? We don't give a damn about y'all. Y'all don't want to worry about us. You troll us all over Facebook. We don't troll you all, because we're not thinking about you. Have all the towns you want. Please have more. Now, we don't care about what you do. That's what you're doing it for, to get our attention. Like, here we are, black folks. Here we are, over here, over here. We're not thinking about you. We're thinking about ourselves right now, not the other people. It's getting to the place white folks realize black people don't care what y'all think and what y'all say no more. When we cared, you mistreated us. Now that we don't care, you're almost like a person who mistreated a woman, then she no longer care. Now you want to do everything to get her attention, or get his attention when you mistreated him. We don't care anymore. We didn't lose the jobs you thought we were going to lose. You thought that white people was going to be racist like they were and just start firing black people, and thought these programs was the only reason we were getting jobs and know they didn't realize it was the reason white women was getting jobs, not us. We're doing just fine. Just leave us alone. That's all we need. So I'm done with the Democrats. I see what I can say about them, because I just don't know what they're going to do. Quit worrying about everybody. Take care. Just simplify your message. That's all I can say to the Democrats. Stop that feminist stuff, trying to please everybody, except for black men. That feminism don't please them. It's not meant to. But simplify your message, and maybe you could take some of this stuff back. Get tough. Back to what I was talking about. See, black people are not used to us caring about ourselves. We got rights for everybody. From the Civil Rights Bill and the Bill of Rights, we the cause of that. As a people, we some of the best people on earth. I'm not talking about those individuals going out committing crime, and we don't commit as much crime as this, and I'm getting to that in a minute. As a people, we're better than just about everybody. You know what? We help other people get their rights. Look at us the way we are as a people. I'm not talking about individuals now. We're compassionate towards other people. We treat everybody right. This nation's, we're the conscience of this nation. If it wasn't for black people, everyone would be being mistreated right now. We fought back. Did the Asians and Hispanics fight back? No. They're fighting back not to be deported. See, we came here and we have found, with the foundation of this nation, these other immigrants, even the ones from Europe, they coming here to live off the fat of the land, be a part of the progress. But look, they are, but we treat everybody good. You see, when white people are homeless, they have to come into the black areas to get help. When they're out panhandling, they come to black people. They know white people are not going to give them anything. And so we're not the evil people they make us out to be. When it comes to crime, I told you this before, I'm going to say it again. Look up the FBI status on crime. You know what you're going to see? They don't gauge crime by actual crimes committed. They determine crimes by arrest. Black people don't commit the most crimes. We are the most arrested. They can pick you up, take you to jail, and let you out in an hour. That goes down as a crime. And it also says in that same report, you can read it for yourself, black people who are arrested for a crime is more likely to be exonerated, never even go to court, than a white person. I've known people who were picked up and let right out. They say they don't have quotas, but that's what it's for, to build up those quotas. So black people are not the evil people you make us out to be. 90% of violent and serious crime in the black community is caused by less than 2% of the same repeat offenders between the ages of 14 and 22. You see, black people with jobs rather commit crimes. Most black people's problem is from economics. Not because you inherit to do crime. Savages, like they try to say, like they come on. You know, it's on social media. When white folks fight, they talk about the fight. When black folks fight, they talk about the race of the person that's fighting. And some of you black people do it too. That's them people doing it. I know we all have an ethnic image, and ours is not good. We do help with that. Like going on these cruise ship clowning, on Frontier Airline clowning. But a lot of those fights and stuff you see on social media is AI and stage people doing pretending to fight to get likes. And then some of them, you actually doing that stuff. And it's mostly you women doing most of the fighting. Go to people. If a person did something you don't like, go to them and talk to them. Why you gotta run up to them cussing and hollering, calling them names? Like, you can't talk like a decent human being. Then get a response from them. It's a lot of time people want to apologize, but you come at them so hard, you don't leave them room to apologize. And if I've seen people who try to apologize, no, I don't want to hear that. Then when you get knocked out, because you're not going to always win, you wondering what happened. I mean, you women are running up in men's face like you want to box. Then when you get boxed, he ain't no man. He hit a woman. What he supposed to do, stand there and let you hit him? See, if a woman hit me in my eye, it's going to swell up too. Just like if a man did it. So when I'm going to stand there and wait for her to hit me in the eye, she get too hostile, I'm going to knock her teeth out. You ain't got to hit me, just get too hostile. Because you know why? I didn't say, oh, he's talking about hitting a woman. Yeah, I will. These are not the women of yesteryear. These are not those women. They're not ladies no more. But they expect the man to stay traditional and be gentlemen, while the women out here doing all type of things. Masculine. They wonder why you can't get no husband. Well, you can just jump off. Boyfriend. Dating and all that stuff, but you can't get no husband. Don't one man want no man. Well, you wonder why you get the men you get strong, independent, masculine women attract weak beta men. Feminine women attract successful masculine men. You see a feminine woman, watch that masculine man. He ain't got to put his masculinity on his sleeve. But that's why you get them weak beta males you got going through what you're going through because of how you are. So you have to examine yourself sometimes. If I'm keep going through the same thing all the time, I have to stop looking at the other people, start looking at myself. When I talk to men, they talk about what some woman did to them. You know what they say? You say, I'm going through the same thing with different women. I got to figure out I must be doing something wrong. I got to figure out what I'm doing wrong. A woman would say, I'm going through the same thing with different men. Oh, these old men just ain't no good. I've heard men say about what a woman did to him, how she mistreated him. But you know what he'd say? That ain't got nothing to do with the next woman. A woman would take that stuff over into the next relationship. Most of y'all already mad that your next boyfriend got beef with him and you haven't even met him yet. See, we have to examine ourselves, see what's wrong. Because for me to keep getting in a bad situation, there's one person in that whole equation, me. Got to figure out what I'm doing wrong. If I'm keep getting with, see, if I get with all these old wretched women, you know what people would say? Oh, you just like them old wretched women. That's just your level. That's what you like. But if a woman keep getting with wretched men, she'll say she's choosing wrong. No, you are the wrong. Because people get with people on their level. It's just that a lot of times men know their level. But women always think they deserve more than what they are. More than what they do deserve. Because that's why I heard one woman told me, say, men say they want women that are natural. But when I go natural, it's a lot of them dress up, a lot of them won't even talk to me. Because they see you as classier. They see you, they figure you're out of their league. You put on your weave and your lashes and your big claws, They see somebody in their league, then on their level. So that's why they come after you then. See, when you're a feminine woman, can't no any man approach you. Can't no any man approach you. If you do, it's gonna be with respect. That's why, it's when a white man, I know white men, when they talk to black women, they come at her like it's a hookup thing. But that same white man, when I see him talk to white women, he talk to her like she's a lady, a gentle flower. So that's why we all have to examine ourselves, see why we're going through the same thing. And see, because one thing I know is I would say about you ladies, you think you're supposed to deal with a man how you think a man should be and not how he is. I think a man should be this and that. But it's not for you to determine that. That's for him to determine how he's going to be. And you would deal with him according to how you think he should be, not how he is. And that's why you have problems. I mean, if he's not what you think he should be, he's not a real man. A real woman wouldn't think like that. Don't create unnecessary problems in relationship. You let the toilet seat down. You let it down. You got hands. You didn't let it up for him. I had this woman one time. I really liked her, but she had to move away, and she had the ugliest laugh. I really didn't like the way she laughed. But you know what? I figured, well, that's the way she laughed. I couldn't say it because she can't change it. But what do you think she would have done if that had been me? Sure, how many women would do it? Most all women would. Most women would, because I know how y'all think. Y'all think the same too. You may think you don't. She would tell me, I don't like the way you laugh. You need to quit laughing like that. I don't like that. You need to stop laughing like that. And make a big deal out of it. Try to tell me how to laugh. Knowing he's not going to change, probably end up breaking up with me over a laugh. Because y'all bad at relationships. You end up breaking that up with me over a laugh. Over something I couldn't change. That's why I didn't say nothing to her about it. I knew I couldn't change it. I have to get used to it. Some things with a person you have to get used to. You know it's not going, there's nothing that's going to really affect in the relationship. And there's something about them that's not going to change. Why keep arguing with them about it? I can't change the way somebody laughs just like they couldn't change the way I laugh. So why even make that an issue? But a woman will. Feminism have made you all think you're supposed to run a man. Tell him what to do, because the average black woman talk to men like they talk to their little sons. And I don't allow that. And the men who don't allow it, that's why a lot of them are single. They don't allow that. This guy I know, I told you this before on here. He was 28 years old. He's in his 30s now. When he was 28, he had 18 children by 10 different women. I heard he's had some more now. Do you think all those women didn't know how he was? They knew. But they'll cry about it later. He's a deadbeat. What do you think he's going to be with 18 children? Because the average man that had that many children, he usually can't even take care of himself. That's why I don't know why they can get so many women when these women crying about come to a decent man talking about what all he got to do just to take him on a date. Pookie and Ray Ray can have babies by you and don't have a dime. Decent fella, he has to be 6 feet tall, make 6 figures, and have to have many more than 6 inches. While your baby daddy, Pookie, he was 5'5" and broke. You say, see, people make it what they don't want hard to get. You don't want no decent man, because you call him lame and dull. People make what they want easy to get. You like Pookie's and Ray Ray's chaos. You're a chaotic person, and you like his chaos. That's why you got with him. And you made it easy for Pookie and Ray Ray and hard for Paul and Raymond. That's why you were at with men. You're going to call Paul and Raymond lame, even claim that they're homosexual because they're articulate and polished. Have you ever known that most black men who were in leadership, I used to notice this when I was coming up, the preachers, the black businessmen and all, everybody always accused them of being homosexuals. Excuse me. But then I stopped and I thought, I said, well, come on. Black men who are actually doing things are homosexuals. As I got older, I realized because they're articulate, they're polished, don't have that swagger. They're different. They carry themselves different from most of the black men people used to see. So that's why they accuse him of these things. There were men I knew weren't homosexuals, but yet people were accusing him of being a homosexual. Even the men, because he was articulate and polished and didn't carry himself like you. Stop and think, most of the black men in positions of authority was accused of being homosexuals. That was why. Because they're articulate and polished, and they show a different range of emotions, and not just anger or laughter. Because the average black man, if he shows anything other than anger or laughter, black women make fun of it. Now, but everything, if he's hurt, it comes out as anger. If he show that he's hurt, oh, why you all in your feelings? Should demoralize him for being hurt instead of trying to help him. So that's why many times we end up where we end up at. Not because of other people, but because of ourselves. Because there's nothing I did that got me in a bad situation that was somebody else's fault. I'm talking about in dealing with people. If I dealt with a bad woman, I knew she was a bad woman. I just wanted to tap her a few times and end up being a little more, but I knew she wasn't anyone to be with when I got with her. And you knew that man wasn't anyone for you to be with. See, you're not going to, I heard many women say, men don't want to take a hoe and make her a housewife, but they want men to take a thug or gangbanger and make him a husband. That's right. We don't want to do that. Not a man with any good sense. And if you take a thug, a gangbanger, loose and try to make him a husband, that's your fault. Nobody expects you to do nothing. You're doing that on your own. So you all got all those little sayings that don't even make sense. That's right, brothers. You don't make no hoe, no housewife. And if they want to make a thug a husband or a hustler a husband, knock yourself out. That's on you, not anyone else. Don't nobody expect you to do nothing. You're doing that on your own. I said before how it says they tell the man, the women think your opinion is a fact. I may be fat, but you're ugly. I can lose weight, what can you do? You know what he can do? Go around people who don't think he's ugly. Deal with them. But fat is still fat. You can lose weight, but you haven't. See, the thing about it is this. Quit making excuses for everything. Start taking accountability, and your life will get a whole lot better. I got some friends who are, very, 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 very well off. And they come around and they behave, sort of. I like being around there, we're not very emotional. And the women come around, sometimes don't want to say nothing to them at all. In the setting we be in, the women of other races like their personality and come to these decent black men. The black woman won't. There's the black women come to them after they find out their status. Then, when they come talk to them, it's too late then. Then you wonder why they get the upper level black men? They treat them right, you won't. Men want a feminine woman. And when he come around women who all day long jerk their head when they see him, look at their face. If he say something to them, if they do give him an answer, some snarky answer, you can't even ask a black woman for direction. I don't know. Walk away. Or if you do, they won't say nothing. If you ask them about anything, anything you would ask anybody, you can't hardly get an answer out of them. Then he get around these women nice and feminine, coming to him, talk to him nice. Now he done made himself up, making pretty good money. He get ready to get a wife. Who do you think he's gonna get? That black woman talking to him all mean all the time? Or that white woman, that Asian woman, or whatever kind of woman treating him, who's always treating him nice? If you keep losing, you got to figure out what you're doing. If I'm running a race, I'm running track, I'm running a race, and I'm keep losing. I got to figure out why I'm losing. Not why the other people are winning. You see when people do they examine and say, see, if you want to get married, you're the product for the husband to get. If the consumer don't want the product, you don't say, oh, that old consumer just stupid and all that. He don't like his mama, he don't like himself. No, you got to see why he don't want that product. You examine the product, not the consumer. Find out what the consumer like. Y'all don't know what black men like because right now, if I say, I see posts where it says, I saw one that said, like, they had a post with a black woman who's all natural. Said, this is the kind of hair that black men like. You should have heard not one black woman said anything good on that post. So I read those kind of comments because of what I do. I have to know about things. The black women were saying stuff like, we don't care what black men want. We don't care what they think. We fix ourselves up to feel good about ourselves, to look good for ourselves, not for them. Just about all of them said that same. And I've heard women say that in person. They don't care about what they fix themselves up to feel good about themselves. That's why you buy yourselves. You know what white women do? They be out there running, eating, keeping themselves fit and in shape. They say, I want to look good for my husband. I want to look good for my man. I want to look good for men. She not out there talking about she want to trying to please yourself. Yeah, looking good. You please yourself by looking good. But if yourself is the only person you're trying to please, you got a problem. You're a narcissist. And many of them, you look like you're trying to please yourself. You can't hit that gym and lay out for that food, because I'm going to tell you the truth. When I go into the stores now, if it's 10 women in there, it's quite common for all 10 black women to be obese. Not fat, but obese. It's quite common. You all know I'm telling the truth. And you can't, and you encourages each other in it. I was I was at a fast food restaurant or something, getting something for somebody, because I don't eat fast food. I don't eat meat. That's mostly what they serve, or greasy food. I was standing at the counter, but I was talking to the lady, but I could hear these women talking, because, I wasn't eavesdropping, because you know how loud y'all talk. Don't nobody have to eavesdrop. They probably could have heard you out on the heard them out on the parking lot. This woman said, yeah, I need to lose weight. I need to lose this stomach. The woman, I heard them saying, the other women say, no, you don't, girl. You look good. You ain't got to lose weight. You look good. When I finally looked over in that direction, because I usually don't pay too much attention to people when I'm out. I looked over in that direction. That woman's stomach was hanging in her lap, and she was standing up. But yet they telling this woman she look good. She don't need to lose no weight. She look good how she is. See, these other women would tell you that stuff, and you never improve yourself being around those type of people. You have to listen to what men say about stuff like that, because these women are not going to tell you the truth. Because usually they're in the same situation you're in. And because most of you all have gotten quite healthy, you weigh more than most men, and you're gonna have to do something about it. I know when I heard people giving testimonies in church, and they talk about their medical conditions, and most of their problems came from being overweight. Not all of them, but the majority of their problems didn't come from the devil. It came from the table. Them sitting at that table too long come from them eating too much. Well, most of their physical problems came from. And see, if you eat right, like me, and most people, if you do like you're supposed to, you coming from the doctor and your blood pressure being okay shouldn't be something to rejoice from. It should be something to expect. You eat right. And when you go to the doctor and he said you're doing fine, you don't have to call that a blessing. It should be expected. So if we take care of those type of problems, then we can move on to bigger blessings. How can you move on to bigger blessings and you around here worrying about stuff like blood pressure and all that because you too fat? I know smaller people can have high blood pressure. That usually comes from eating too much salt and sodium. They're not eating right. They just didn't gain weight with it because of their metabolism. But they're eating the same food in the same amount that the fat folks eating. They just didn't get fat. But it's still having an effect on their body. I know I'm on a different subject, but I do that. I just so long I talk this long, just talk about one. Oh, I've been talking this long. Just talk about one subject. But look, so many times let our testimony be about greater things. Instead of just, I came from the doctor and he said my blood pressure was normal. You take care of yourself so you can expect it to be normal. Not going to a praise dance because it's normal, but because it was expected to be normal. Yeah, it's many things we should be expecting for ourselves. Not counting it such a big blessing. It's a blessing. It's like if you go get your car, it's a blessing that you was able to work and get that money and buy it. God bless you with a job. I mean, bless you with money to go buy it. But you had to do something to get that money. It didn't fall down from out of the sky. If that's the case, I need to ask for that blessing. A lot of times we get things off. I don't see any point in you going committing a crime that says a blessing because you got out of it. Maybe you was given another chance, but stop committing crimes. Stop it. And that's a blessing if you're accused of something you didn't do. Well, usually you're accused of something you didn't do, you can get out of that anyway. Usually now. Not all the time. But sometimes we are, black folks, we're off on a lot of things. We really don't read things like they really are. We do everything backwards. And that's one of our problems that causes us problems. I'm going to get ready to get off here in a few minutes. But we do everything backwards. We live on a matriarch-dominated system rather than a patriarch-dominated system like the rest of the world. We go get the worst people first, and they call ourselves settling for something better. You don't settle for something better, you settle for something worse. And then we wonder why we have problems. We just do everything backwards. See, that's why some black people like Trump, he does everything backwards. You see what he does? Set tariffs, then try to negotiate, and wonder why people not negotiating with him. You negotiate first. Then, if the negotiation don't work, you put forth a penalty. You don't penalize before the negotiation. Backwards. And that's the way many black people's society work. Excuse me. We do everything backwards from the rest of the world. And it brings us problems. We want to go have children first, then get married. Backwards. Well, you're not going to get the best people. And we wonder why. I haven't done it right in that situation. That's what I'm saying this for people now. See, that's what people look at a lot. Or you can't say that because you this and you that. Many times people learn and pass things on to other people, even though they didn't do it the right way. So, what I'm saying wrong because I didn't do it that way? If I had children before I got married and I tell you about it, well, you had children before you got married, that make it right? What I'm saying not right because of what I did, that's what I'm telling you. So you won't repeat the same thing. Well, I heard women say, oh, you bald head, you can't say nothing. That's the kind of excuses they use to try to discount facts. Something personal about you to say a fact is not a fact. That's the kind of argument that they use. But still, it don't change. My bald head don't change the facts. Because black women, you're not marrying. Black men actually have a higher marriage rate than black women. But you say these men don't want to get married. These men don't want a relationship. Who usually break up a relationship? And it's not always over no cheating because usually I see women stick with a man who cheat until she find her another man. Then she's ready to break up. And statistics show that women cheat just at the same rate that men cheat. We don't live in that society where women stayed at home all the time and wasn't around a lot of men. Women are out around a lot of different men now. My mother was at home. If she was out with her kids or her husband, who was my father. Women are out because they self out with a man friend. Now, I always told them, no, I don't play the man friend, so I'm your friend. I drop out. I don't have no woman friend I go out with. You ain't going out with no man friend. And see, with social media, a lot of people got the social media girlfriend and their real girlfriend. The social media wife, the real wife. Social media husband, real husband. You can't function like that. You know why? You're splitting your emotion and time between different people. And that should be just for that one person. And all this stuff is not working. It's not working for us. All this stuff we're doing is not working. Like I was saying, that women be around different people now. And say, let's say that the average woman, not the gorgeous woman, but just an average woman may get 4 or 5 men a day trying to talk to her. And that may be on the low number. Multiply that by 7 days. Multiply that by a week. Then by the month, by the year. That may be over 1,000 men try to hit on her that year. Well over 1,000. And I'm talking on the low end. Do you actually believe she turned all those men down? Married or not? Got a man or not? Do you all actually believe she turned all those men down? I don't think so. I'm thinking about human qualities. No, she didn't turn them all down. You take a lot of men that a lot of women be after. You think that man turning all those women down, that's why he got 15 babies and all those baby mamas. There's some men that a lot of women gravitate towards. But the men who will be faithful, he's too lame and dull for you. See, what happens is, the statistic shows that, like I say, statistics you can always look up for yourself. Women are only attracted to maybe 10% of the men in the world, physically attracted to. And those men have them a field day. That's why you see a small amount of the men having all the babies. When you allow women to choose men for themselves, they all gravitate towards a small group of men. That's why a woman's husband used to be chosen for her. And they stayed together. It wasn't all these divorces. They stayed together. So we have to get back to thinking instead of feeling. I know I'm off my subject about feminism and the Democratic Party, but just so long I can talk about that. But I better get ready to get off of here. But let's remember, let's try to make ourselves into some better people. Instead of trying to make other people into a better person. Because many times we'll find out that it's not always the other person. It's us. Or both of you. But you have to work on getting yourself together before you can get someone else together. Because anytime I've learned, I used to do that, looking at everybody else, but I've learned that when I have problems with people or anything, I look at myself first. A lot of times I found out the problem was me. How many people gonna do that? Not very many. Start blaming everyone else but themselves. But I want to say one more time to you people in Washington, D.C., Stay off them streets and leave them guards alone till I get out of the city. Walk by them, mind your own business, like they're not even there. They're trying to get a rise out of us because we're minding our own business. And you see all over social media, they can't stand the fact that black people are minding their own business. Yet, when we try not to, they don't want us around. They want to be bothered with us. Then when we don't want to be bothered with them, they want to be bothered with us. Forget them folks. The only thing people I'm worried about right now is FBAs, fundamental black Americans from this country. I'm not worried about those from Africa, Asia, wherever they come from, Dominican, Haiti. I'm not even worried about those folks no more. Let me say this. The Haitian has the nerve to talk about us. The only reason they was able to come was because of Jesse Jackson. They used to turn those raggedy boats around, half of them drowning at sea. Bill Clinton was getting ready to run for president. He wasn't doing very well in the primary. He was losing. Jesse Jackson went to him and said, if you agree to this, because see, Reagan and George Bush's daddy, when they were president, they was turning those boats around, letting those Haitians drown, most of them. So Jesse Jackson went to Bill Clinton and said, if you will allow the Haitians to come in, I'll endorse you for president. Bill Clinton agreed, and the rest is history. But did you ever hear Bill Clinton giving Jesse Jackson credit? No. I didn't. If he did, I didn't know about it. Excuse me. So, but now the Haitians want to run their mouths. I remember Jesse Jackson and some people going down to the border protesting for the Mexicans. You ever see the Mexican protest for us? I'm not thinking about them. If they make it, fine. If they don't, fine. Because I'm worried about our folks. Y'all can worry about them if y'all want to. Yeah, I think it's about time I get out. Say I'm a selfish person. No, I'm not selfish. If I was selfish, I wouldn't be worried about my people. I'm not worried about me. I'm talking about us. And I'm not talking about no black men. I'm talking about black men and women, black people. That's what you black women got to get in your mind. We black people. Not no black men and women. I told you before, if y'all want to go it along, let us know. We'll make it, y'all won't. And you say I don't know what I'm talking about, try it and see. Well, I better get off of here. And black men, stay strong. Be strong, masculine men. Don't let these women demasculate you. Make fun of everything you do because you're a man. And if you say the same thing about them, they go crazy. Be men. If you got to go it alone, go it alone. But don't let these women make little simps out of you. Just to keep the peace, because that is no real peace. If one person got to give in and let the other person have their way to have peace, that's not no real peace. That's just you giving in to keep from hurting a mouth. But you may have to let them, you got a mouth too. So be men. Quit letting these women make simps out of you. Okay, that's going to do it for tonight. I better get off because I'm beginning to cough. So be sure to tune in next time. I don't put my cash app up. I don't want to do that yet until I get the Roku channel going. So, but I'm on Facebook on ESL 89 Blocks Media. And on YouTube on City of Champions Media. But I appreciate all of you tuning in. And be sure to share and like if you can. I have another one I did do with that's more dealing with the Metro East area called the 89 Blocks and the Metro East. My guest last night was Councilman Courtney Hoffman. We did a live podcast, and I'll be doing more from that one also. I don't have a page for that, but I'll just be sharing it over. Because that's what I... So on this page, I don't want to do just local stuff. I may do some, but not local stuff. So this is not really the page I meant to have this on. I have a No More Water Fire Next Time page, but this one has more people on it than that one. So I made sure to start doing it on that one. Maybe that would help increase. But I start tuning in. When I start putting in my cash up, support it. Because and I'll let you know when the Roku channel, they've been preparing a website I haven't heard back from. I can start streaming on it, but I want to do it the right way. So, so good night, and I appreciate you for tuning in. So, good night.